Hello and welcome back to my channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to tap on the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will be notified about it. With that said, let's get into today's video. Now with me today, I have a very interesting video of Nikki Haley. In case you missed it, in this video that has gone viral on social media, Nikki Haley calls for changing retirement age for Americans who are now in their 20s. Now, according to the Republican presidential candidate, Nikki Haley, she's calling for changing the retirement age for Americans currently in their 20s and limiting Social Security and Medicare benefit for wealthier Americans, staking out a position on the politically controversial issue of entitlement reform that's already been the subject of attack from former President Donald Trump. Now, according to her, the retirement age should be changed because 65 is too low. Yes, she said that. Now, this video has gotten a lot of backlash from people. With the age she's proposing it should. Different people reacted to the video, and the following are some reactions from people. Check these videos out. I will be right back.
We don't touch anyone's retirement or anyone who's been promised in, but we go to people like my kids in their 20s when they're coming into the system and we say the rules have changed. We change retirement age to reflect life expectancy.
What's the right age there then, Ambassador?
We've got to figure out what it is, but what we do know is 65 is way too low.
You are not going to get millennials, especially Gen Zers, to work till they're 70 years old. There's no incentive anymore. At least 30 years ago, the incentive was you could work 40 hours for 40 years, afford a home, afford a living, have retirement, and have hope. You took those incentives away from the younger generations. You want them to work 40 hours a week for 50 years without being able to buy a home, with living paycheck to paycheck, working 40 hours. You want them to work 40 hours in corporate America plus commute and then drive Uber on the weekends just to afford groceries? Corporate America needs to change their incentive. Where's the 4-day work week? Where's the more than 12-day PTO? Where's the 9 to 3 job with the same pay instead of 8 to 5:30? You need to change the incentive. You have corporate America bragging about corporate profits at an all-time high, and yet middle-class people can't buy a house and get by and putting groceries on credit cards. That's the America we live in. We have people working at multi-billion-dollar organizations who have to apply for government assistance, working 40 hours a week. This is an American problem. This isn't Nikki Haley. This is a left, right, center. I don't care where you are politically. This is an American problem that has just arose 2-3 years ago, and we need to work together to fix this for the millennials and Gen Zers and future generations.
People are saying, like, instead of raising the retirement age, just raise the amount that you're paying wages. But if you raise wages, then you're raising costs right back up. Every dollar you pay an employee more is a dollar that product is going to cost more. So why doesn't the government just subsidize whatever store is going to be giving X services the cheapest and then bring them down to pre-inflation costs? And instead of that, that's a good place to invest the money, because people could actually afford things, and then they could start spending things, and then the more spending you have, the better the economy is doing. I don't get it.
For this, but here's some things that I would change as a millennial running for president. First off, the retirement age will be 60 years old. That's right, 60 years old, and nobody in Congress over the age of 65. Universal health care, because why are we as a country taking money out of people's check and not even offering them a checkup at the doctors? Go. That's right. There will not be any fools, 8s or 47s sold under my presidency. If you already have Ks in your 40s, that's great, but there will not be any more ammo produced for the general public under my presidency. Big Pharma, this is for you. All that red 40, black 20, yellow 30, white 60, we ain't doing that no more. We ain't putting no more chemicals in people's food. And I will implement something called food control. This one is for the billionaires and the trillionaires. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, get your over here. No one working under someone like a Jeff Bezos should not be able to pay their bills or put food on the table. So you can have your wealth, Jeff. You're just going to have to dig a little deeper and share it. Next up, student loans. What student loans? What student loans?
Being 70 years old and working because you have to is insane. I can't imagine being 70 years old and being in somebody's workplace. That's why you hear me talking so much about investing, putting money away for retirement, and really just looking out for yourself, because the government isn't going to do it. Employers aren't going to do it. And so you have to put money away, look out for yourself, because you don't want to be working forever. And as sad as it is, most people in this country are going to be working to their 70 because they're not going to be able to afford living expenses. Housing itself is just skyrocketing. And it's important to put money away for your future self. Your future self will indeed thank you.
I am all for this. You know what kind of landmine this will create? You piss off younger generations and get them involved in more politics. You know the amount of change we could cause if people will vote spite. Like, they don't vote for things, they vote to spite things. And you could get an entire generation, sorry, I have the hiccups, to vote against Republicans for this, and it would destroy them. I'm for this.
Now, what you would do is, for those in their 20s coming into the system, we would change the retirement age so that it matches life expectancy, Haley said on Fox News. When pressed for what specific new retirement age she supports, the former South Carolina governor said it's the new ones coming in. So it's those in their 20s that are coming in. You're coming to them and you're saying the game has changed. We're going to do this completely differently. Now, Haley had first proposed altering the retirement age for young people at a town hall in Iowa, outlining several changes to entitlement programs. Haley's campaign, however, did not respond when CNN asked what she would say as the retirement age. Now, while calling for changes to salvage the programs that she argued were headed for bankruptcy, Haley said older Americans should not see any cuts to their benefits. It is unrealistic to say you're not going to touch entitlements. The thing is, you don't have to touch it for seniors and anybody near retirement. So you're talking about the new generation like my kids coming up, Haley said. Haley's comments come as President Joe Biden attacks Republicans for wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare, and Trump pressures Republicans to support the programs. Now, Trump recently released a video saying Republicans should never vote to cut a single penny from those programs, even though his administration's budget proposals included cuts to such social programs. Now, at the Conservative Political Action Conference, Trump didn't name any fellow Republicans, but alleged some members of his party want to raise the minimum age of Social Security to 70, 75, or even 80 in some cases, and are out to cut Medicare to a level that it will no longer be recognizable. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a potential rival for the GOP 2024 nomination, recently distanced himself from his past support for privatizing Social Security and raising the retirement age. Former Vice President Mike Pence told CNBC last month that Social Security and Medicare need to be on the table in dealing with U.S. national debt, while Haley has previously said that we do have to address entitlements for future beneficiaries. Now, Haley also called for expanding packages for Medicare Advantage plans, which are run by private healthcare insurers, in order to increase competition. The former South Carolina governor criticized a new proposal that is said to be part of Biden's 2024 budget that would show up a key Medicare trust fund by raising taxes on those earning more than $400,000 a year and by allowing Medicare to negotiate prices for even more drugs. The proposal is expected to run into a war in the Republican-controlled House. Now, Joe Biden is basically saying the only way to deal with entitlements is to raise taxes. He doesn't care that it runs out in 5 or 10 years. He's not going to be there anymore, Haley said. Now, in the January 10 debate, moderator Jake Tapper asked Haley point blank if people in their 20s should expect to work into their 70s. They should plan on their retirement age being increased. Yes, Haley said. Now, Haley's opponent, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, vehemently disagreed with her on raising the retirement age, pointing out that retirees have been paying into Social Security their whole lives and deserve to receive it. It's not a welfare program. You are being taxed for this your whole life, he said. What's behind Haley's and DeSantis' views on Social Security? And should you be worried if either receives the GOP nomination? Now, this is the reason why Haley wants to raise the retirement age. Haley assured current and soon-to-be retirees that they will receive their full Social Security entitlement at the current retirement age of 67, but she remained vague week during the debate about the exact age she would increase it to. We want to make sure that everybody who was promised gets it, she said. But we also want to make sure our kids have something when they get it too. Now, Haley's statement come in light of the fact that Social Security may not be able to hand out full entitlements in the near future. And according to this year's Social Security and Medicare trustees report, the fund supporting Social Security will, at current funding levels, only be able to pay 100% of scheduled benefits until 2033. Now, after that, the funds will become depleted, and older Americans would only receive 77% of their total scheduled benefits. Now, here's DeSantis' take. One big reason why DeSantis doesn't agree with Haley about raising the retirement age is life expectancy. Haley insists that life expectancy is increasing, so raising the retirement age just makes sense. But DeSantis says that this isn't true. Life expectancy has decreased in the past 5 years. I'll never raise the retirement age in the face of declining life expectancy, DeSantis said in the debate. Now, that hurts blue-collar folks. You get taxed your entire life expectancy down, you may not even be recouping very many benefits. Both are right to an extent. Now, longer lifespans tend to belong to rich Americans such as Haley and DeSantis. Poorer Americans don't tend to see the same life expectancy increases as wealthier Americans. Now, according to a 2021 paper from the Congressional Research Service, millions of Americans are in massive debt in the face of rising rates. But something needs to be done. Haley isn't wrong to raise the alarm bells over Social Security's impending insolvency, and even current benefits often aren't enough for many seniors to live on. But some commentators have other ideas for improving Social Security's fiscal position. Nobel Memorial Prize winning economist Paul Krugman wrote in a recent New York Times column that the best way to increase Social Security funds is to do what the majority of GOP candidates refuse to do: raise taxes. Now, the US has one of the lowest tax revenue rates in the world. According to the OECD, higher taxes are the way that countries like Canada or Denmark provide more healthcare and financial support for retirees. You may not like higher taxes, but it could help out with your retirement savings long term. In the meantime, the best thing you can do is make sure that you have enough money in the bank to fund your own retirement. Now, as she woos her party's wealthy donors, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is promoting a policy that sets her apart from her closest competitors for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination: a willingness to stake out positions on the politically fraught issue of overhauling the nation's entitlement programs. Now, in a recent Haley endorsement, a top official in the influential political network associated with billionaire Charles Koch praised the former UN ambassador's courage for advocating changes to an entitlement system that makes promises it can't keep. We have come to the end of the video. Feel free to share your thoughts on what you think about this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another interesting video.